The man was shocked to discover that his wife, who had been paralyzed for 5 years, was actually a martial arts expert. She could easily lift her wheelchair off the ground. Her martial arts skills were even greater than his own, despite him being a general. The man's pupils shrank in shock. What he didn't know was that this seemingly weak, paralyzed woman was once the famous national general, feared on the battlefield. After being separated from her parents as a child, she had reunited with them after becoming a general. Wanting to always serve her parents and be with her beloved, she had hidden her identity, resigned from her post, and lived a humble life. However, she never expected her return would ignite her foster sister's jealousy. The foster sister hated her for taking the title of a wealthy young lady. Driven by madness, the foster sister pushed her down the stairs when the woman wasn't prepared, causing her to break both legs and become paralyzed. When the long princess, who had become close to the woman, intended to punish the foster sister, the woman's father and fiancé claimed the foster sister had committed suicide out of guilt. Then, they brought in the foster sister's body. While the woman was still in shock, her fiancé publicly declared his intentions. He said he didn't mind her being disabled and was determined to marry her, promising to care for her forever. For 5 years of marriage, he truly cared for her and gave her gifts on their wedding anniversary. The woman thought her happiness would last forever, but little did she know, she would soon discover a shocking secret in the backyard. The foster sister, who had supposedly died, was actually being hidden by her husband in the backyard, living a good life. Behind her back, they had even had a child, a 5-year-old illegitimate son. This struck her like a thunderbolt. Just then, the foster sister discovered her. She deliberately seduced the husband and revealed the shocking secret of the past. The truth was that the foster sister had faked her death with the help of her biological parents and the husband, who loved her. The man had never married her out of love, but to cover up the foster sister's fake death. Heartbroken, the man planned to confront his father, but he overheard another shocking secret. His leg injury, which had never healed, was not incurable. His father had deliberately delayed treatment, preventing her from getting the proper care in time. The doctor warned that if the delay continued, the woman might not survive. But to the man's horror, his father coldly responded, saying it would be better if she died. It turned out that his father had only recognized her to use her connections with the Long Princess to climb to the royal family. But after the Long Princess disappeared with no benefits for years, his parents, unable to mistreat her because of their reputation, kept her at home. Over the years, they and the fiancé had already planned everything. Now that the time had come, the foster sister would reclaim everything that had once belonged to her. The woman had never imagined that even her treatment was a lie. Her family had schemed to take her life. Since her family wanted her dead, why should she stay loyal? That night, she wrote a letter in her own blood and urgently sent it to the capital. She handed it to the Long Princess, whom she regarded as a sister. After reading the letter, the Long Princess immediately reported it to the emperor. Learning that the former war hero was willing to return to fight for the country, the emperor was overjoyed. He immediately issued a decree to restore her title as the national general and ordered the Long Princess to go fetch her with the imperial edict. As the Long Princess was about to go, she encountered the champion lord who had been waiting for her. The champion lord had once fought alongside her. At that time, he had fallen in love with her at first sight. But since her parents had already found her a suitor, the champion lord had buried his feelings. Now, seeing her again, he could barely contain his joy. Meanwhile, the woman sent her maid to investigate the scheming foster sister's situation. Her parents had given the foster sister a new name to allow her to return legally. Even more shockingly, they had used her name to donate large sums of money every year in times of disaster. The foster sister had become a revered philanthropist, and in 4 days, they would be giving charity to the poor. At the same time, the woman's parents were adopting the foster sister as their goddaughter, making her a legitimate member of the family. The woman had already prepared a countermeasure against her parents' plan. The next day, she went to see the champion lord's personal physician with the jade pendant he had given her. After treatment, the doctor confirmed that, with the right medicine, she could walk again in 7 days. This gave her hope, even after all the betrayal she had suffered. The next day was her birthday, and her parents and husband held a banquet for her. They pretended to prepare gifts for her, but what she didn't expect was that they allowed the foster sister, wearing a mask, to openly appear at her birthday banquet. The foster sister looked at her with a provocative gaze. That night, she boldly visited her and mocked her for returning to compete for what was hers. Now that she was paralyzed, she deserved it. The foster sister claimed that the man truly loved her, not the woman. Unable to tolerate it any longer, the woman slapped the foster sister hard across the face. The enraged foster sister lost control, pushing her wheelchair towards the river. Then, with a violent tug, she dragged the woman into the cold water. Hearing the screams, the man jumped into the water to rescue the foster sister but ignored his wife, who was struggling to survive. The woman was finally saved by the maid with great effort. Meanwhile, the parents and the man surrounded the foster sister, comforting her. The foster sister cried and falsely accused the woman of dragging her into the water. At that moment, someone in the crowd recognized her as the famous philanthropist. Without understanding the situation, they immediately blamed the woman. Seeing her mistress being slandered, the maid tried to explain, but no one believed her. After the banquet, the man quietly slipped into the woman's room, only to find her studying military strategy by candlelight. This reminded him of years ago when, in the midst of a military campaign, she had quickly identified a breakthrough on the map and strategized the entire campaign. At that time, he was shocked and asked her how she knew military tactics. She had calmly replied that she was just guessing. Now, as the man campaigned for the position of commander, he realized that if she truly knew military strategy, he would have to reconsider her position. So he asked asked her directly if she was familiar with military tactics and formations. The woman had already seen through his selfish and callous nature. She also wanted to see his reaction once he learned her true identity. Just as she was about to reveal everything, a servant rushed in and said that the foster sister was unwell and needed his attention. Without hesitation, the man turned and went to her. Little did he know, he had just missed the only chance to be close to the war god's power. The maid informed the woman that the Long Princess would arrive to take her back the next day. Coincidentally, it was also the day her parents planned to open a charity hall for the foster sister. Over the years, they had quietly paved the way for the foster sister's return as a saintly figure. With a cold look in her eyes, the woman declared that she would reveal the truth to the world tomorrow, at the peak of their celebration.